Hello mga Ka-Investa students! Na-miss niyo ba kami? Kasi kami, na-miss namin kayo. So, welcome to InvestaUniversity program. So, we are at our second semester right now. And we hope na nakapag-catch up kayo sa mga past lessons natin nung first semester. So, ngayon, we are at lesson 6 of technical analysis class. And Pao will teach us all about trading styles. So, ano pang hinihintay niyo? Tara! Happy learning!
Alright, so without further ado, simula na tayo. As mentioned in the intro, everybody, all the InvestaU students, welcome back to InvestaUniversity. So we've been on sem break for about 2 weeks, preparing all we have to give. We're preparing how we're going to provide value, our strategy of attack to impact the lives of more Filipinos. And now, let's begin with the next lesson. So the next lesson is still focused on technical analysis, but now we're going to be talking about trading styles. So wala naman talaga specific title na sinabi sa akin, pero ito lang ginawa kong title. Trading Styles, a Trader's Arsenal. Alright. So so in this video, basically, in this lesson, I'm going to be teaching yung mga iba't ibang, some people call it trading styles, trading approaches, trading setups, pare-pareho lang, but I chose to call it trading styles. Diba? But so before we move on, right, to the meat of the discussion for this lesson, let's talk about ano nga ba yung importance nito. So una muna, you need to know yourself. Diba? As a trader, kasi trading is more, in my opinion, an art than a science. There's so many nuances to it. Parang walang sureable na answer na, ito, para maging profitable ka, kailangan ganyan. Kasi pwede naman, syempre, there are non-negotiables like risk management and proper position sizing. But the strategies can be different, the setups can be different. So you need to know yourself. You need to know yourself. You need to know your circumstances. Diba? You need to know, can I be a day trader or do I have to focus on bigger picture moves? Or ano ba yung saan ba ako komportable mag-execute? Kasi it's very important. Kasi you won't be able to execute at a high level if hindi ka naniniwala sa strategy or system or style na ginagamit mo. That's why it's really important to know yourself, because self-awareness is key to success in any craft. Diba? If you want to be a trader, you need to be self-aware na this is my passion, this is what I want to do. If you want to be a chef, you need to be self-aware and sure na my passion's cooking. So, self-awareness in the setup or in the style you would like to choose, diba? Or the mix of styles you would like to choose. Kailangan lang yan. So, here's a few things you will need to consider when choosing your trading style. Number 1, long-term versus short-term. So, am I more of a long-term investor? Do I want to focus on making money in the big run, in the long run rather? Or am I more of a shorter-term trader? Making money trading day in and day out, focusing on short-term fluctuations. Number 2, do you have an aggressive approach or a chill approach? Do you want to churn the edge over and over, trading setups left and right, or gusto mo chill ka lang, focus sa weekly time frame, or moving to number 3, big picture plays lang ba, or micro? At syempre kung medyo chill ka, less trades, tapos siguro mas focus ka sa bigger picture. So here's another thing you need to know. Do I want to focus on micro moves, intraday movement, diba? One day bounce, etc. Or do you want to focus on big picture plays, all-time high, 52-week high, diba? Long-term trends. And number 4, kaya mo ba i-monitor yung market or ALT+TAB warrior ka ba? So these are important things you need to consider when choosing a trading style that works for you. So I've narrowed it down to, kasi syempre, maraming mga styles, approaches, setups. But I've mostly narrowed it down to 5 kasi ito yung mga sikat sa komunidad natin. So, number 1, you have swing traders. Number 2, trend followers. 3, momentum traders. 4, position traders. And 5, bounce traders. So, I'm sure if you've been in the markets at least for a couple of months, alam nyo na yung mga to. At least, yung essence niya. But for the newbies out there, just for the benefit of everyone, I'm going to be going through everything one by one and giving examples and parang i-define ko siya. Because this is very important, especially this is a prerequisite to our next class or our next lesson, which will be taught by one of our educators, which is going to be market cycles. Diba? So very important to. So guys, in the middle of this, baka uminom lang tubig kasi alam niyo naman, baka pumiyok ako. Alright, so let's go. So, before I move on pala to the specifics, I just want to tell everyone ngayon pa lang, the biggest difference between all the styles mentioned here is the profit objective. Parang yan yung biggest difference eh. Like, yung ito, gusto short term lang, bentahan one day. Yung ganito, gusto, 6 months hold. Yung ganito, gusto pag resistance. Yung ganito, gusto pag na-trail stop. No, but the buying signal, dalawa lang kasi naman talaga eh. To keep it simple lang yung buying signal is either a break of resistance or a bounce of support. But the nuances of when the buy execution is done is obviously different per trading style. But the biggest key difference talaga is the profit objective, diba? Alright. So first, let's focus on swing trading. So when we say swing trading or a swing trader is someone who can make money or focuses primarily on both sideways and uptrends. Mahirapan yung swing trader sa mga downtrending stocks. The swing trader is someone who looks to sell at the closest resistance and lock in his or her gain quick. Number 3, di man quick pala, basta looks to sell sa resistance. Number 3, doesn't necessarily need to keep an eye on the market the whole day, meaning pwede to para sa mga may full-time job or online classes, so hindi need super active, hindi need malikot yung kamay. Number 4, the holding period usually lasts between days to probably a month, or maybe matagal na yung 2 so days to a month or maybe a month and a half. So let me give you a few examples. So again, a swing trader is someone who wants to take advantage of sideways trends or uptrends and wants to buy at support level. So let me give you an example. Here we have now. So as a swing trader, if I were a swing trader, I would be looking at key support levels during consolidations. And for now, as you can see, that's between 190 to 195. So a swing trader is someone who would buy here. Tapos, what would you do next? Pa-plot mo na yung susunod na resistance. Then, bebenta mo doon. Actually, it sounds very simple, no? Kasi swing trader is someone who wants to take advantage of the quick upswings. Diba? Hindi quick, but wants to take advantage of that up move. Tapos benta, lock in gains. Diba? So, in my opinion, that's what a swing trader is. And in the case of now, that's a 31% gain. But, after this, diba, now went up. Ano pa? Parang from that, you made the 30% gain, but it went up 230%. Umakyat pa. So guys, to set the context, I'll be giving a lot of chart examples here. But a lot of this, baka marami na may alam or medyo basic lang masasabihin ko. Diba? Hindi man basic, but each trading style, ibibigay ko yung essence niya, yung key important parts, rather than just telling you, swing trader, bibili support, benta sa resistance. Diba? So, una muna, in this case, diba, swing trader ka, for example, bibili ka support, 190, 195. Plot mo resistance mo, 250. Benta ka, 30% gain. Nasundan mo yung plano mo, na-execute mo na maayos. Pero, in this case, as with many other cases, pero baka hindi kasing exaggerate 200% gain bigla, no? Yung na-miss out mo. But, bawal ka pa rin ma-bad trip. If you have identified yourself as a swing trader and you followed your plan, buy on support, sell upswing, sell on the resistance, tapos umakyat pa siya, alam ko masakit siya, pero hindi ka pwede ma-bad trip. Bakit? It's because all styles have their pros and cons. Diba? And I'll give you a good example of a pro of swing trading later. But obviously, if we're in a bull market, uptrending market, and all you're looking to is sell at resistance, there's more chances na baka you will leave a lot of money on the table because diba, stocks usually break out. But if we're trading in a bear market or a sideways market and you're looking to sell at resistance, diba, baka mas mataas yung chance doon na pagka untog sa resistance, baka overshoot onte pero mag-fade. But not in the case of bull markets. You have to understand that you operate in a specific zone or a specific zone in the stock's life cycle. Diba? So, to give an example, if you're a day trader and you make a quick 5% profit, dapat di ka na ma-bad trip pag, kasi for one day, say stock XYZ, kumita ka 5%, isang araw, solid, day trader ka eh. But yung pala, in 30 days, aakit pa pala siya all the way to 35%. Dapat di ka na mga bad trip doon. Bakit? Kasi yung 35% gain na yun, hindi na yun laro mo eh. Yung laro mo nandito. And there's nothing wrong with that. Diba? So, you need to understand, when you choose a style or set of styles, and na-reach mo na yung katamtamang profit objective, na benta mo at key levels based on your style, dapat di na mababad trip. Diba? Kasi, that's the zone you're operating in the life cycle. And in the case of swing trading, ito na yun eh. Taking the quick swing, selling at resistance, and then, of course, pero umakyat pa. But it doesn't mean na sobrang ano ka na, parang naka-lock in ka dito. But you can mix styles, etc. I'll talk more about it later. But let's focus on swing trading lang. So these are just some key important points that's very important that I wanted to emphasize. So here's another example. Let's say we see a stock, big run-up, sideways trend. So we see Wilcon. So as a swing trader, ano ba yung nakikita dapat natin dito? First, obviously, we want to plot the support levels as areas of potential buying. So that's between 8 to 820. That's a good area to accumulate your position. And then, ang benta mo is of course 9.50 or dating resistance. Very basic buy and support, seller resistance. Again, a good approach for those na may full-time jobs, online class, di mabantayan yung market palagi. And that's a quick 20% gain. Diba? But of course, as we all know, Wilcon eventually went up to go double in value. But again, we're operating in a specific life cycle or in a specific zone in the life cycle of a stock. So as swing traders, diba, if we sold all, hindi tayo nagtira ng kalahati. Diba, I made a video before about selling in tranches, so you guys can watch that. It was a bonus lesson for InvestaUniversity. I believe I did it for InvestaUniversity. Basta sa YouTube channel namin. So yun, spot nyo na lang to. And by the way guys, plug ko na rin. If you want to learn more, if you want to watch more InvestaUniversity videos, want to learn more about trading, the stock market, and everything else, head over to our YouTube channel, Investa. Diba? And click the subscribe button and we'll do our best to provide value to everyone. Alright? So let's continue. But now, let me give you a case where swing trading actually, diba, it worked. Yung pagbebenta sa resistance, di kaya naiwan. So, I remember nung March to about early May, the market, after the market crash, was in a reversal mode. Parang quick reversal or quick counter-trend move. Tapos sell on rally. So now in those kind of situations, solid yan. Bakit? Because yung kasi nauuntog sa resistance. Kasi nga counter-trend move lang eh. Downtrend, crash, counter-trend. Tapos baka fade sandali. And this is the case in PXP. So if you did the simple swing trading, diba, you want to accumulate at support, binenta mo sa resistance right here sa 550, 30% gain yun. Then after that, hindi siya nakapag-breakout, nag-fade ka agad. So from the peak, down 18%. So this is a case where swing trading, diba, you're able to take advantage of the quick move. Diba? So now, let's move on from that and let's talk about yung favorite ng karamihan, which is momentum trading. Teka, water break. So now, okay. A momentum trader, ano ba definition ko dito? A momentum trader is someone who seeks for the line of least resistance or for the blue skies, the all-time highs, the 52-week highs, the quick moves. Because if you guys read the book Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, which I highly recommend, the line of least resistance is where the explosive moves mostly happen, and momentum traders want to be in those explosive moves. So a momentum trader wants to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time. Because remember, a breakout is a start of a new uptrend. A breakout is a start of a potential new move. Right? And number 3, a momentum trader is someone who primarily focuses on uptrending stocks. Diba? Because downtrending stocks, downtrending stocks, pwede rin naman, but the hit rate is naturally lower or the accuracy. Siyempre, you want to go where the trend is. Ika nga, the trend is your friend. So, if you primarily focus on uptrending stocks as a momentum trader, mas mataas yung accuracy mo, yung hit rate. Kung downtrending or sideways, baka bumaba. Number 4, a momentum trader must be able to execute at any moment because again, momentum, mabilisan to. Kailangan precise yung execution mo. So, if yung broker mo walang auto orders, kailangan nandun ka para bantayan yung merkado. Holding period for momentum traders usually last from days to weeks, diba? Months ba abot? I doubt kung talaga momentum objective lang. Kasi the number 1 thing here is, again, I think the most important point here is number 2, a momentum trader is someone who wants to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time. So you want to churn over that edge. Right? So here's an example. So a momentum trader wants to buy on the breakout of resistance. So here's one example, CHP. CHP, we have the resistance point right here at 125. So, kung momentum trader ka, antayin mo ma-break yung significant na resistance. So, a quick buy here. Diba? Yan yung natin. Yung buy signal natin. Again, good volume on the way up, breaking out. And then, mag-set ka ng TP. Diba? So, kung momentum trader sets target profits, doon ka sa mga significant resistance levels. So, at the case of CHP, dito yan. Sa may mga 150 to 155. So that's a quick 25% gain and nag-materialize nga. So in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in 1 week. So again, a momentum trader wants to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time. And let me give you another example. Here's all HC. As we see, we have a downtrend line breakout. And again, volume was very strong on the follow-through day. What's the next thing you have to do? You have to sell at key resistance levels, or you want to sell into strength while the stock is on the way up pa lang. Diba? So here, we have a quick 35% gain, diba, in a couple of days. Pero, umakyat pa. But again, bawal mabad trip. Bakit? Because again, we are operating, per style, we are operating in a specific zone in the life cycle of a stock. So as a momentum trader, being able to take advantage of opportunities that yield a quick 25% gain, that yield a quick 35% gain, we need to learn how to sell, diba, into strength, or sell on the way up, or sell habang madali pa, or sell at key resistance levels. But so again, bawal mabad trip. So let me give you a nice example again here. Here's Eagle. So as a momentum trader, ano ba aantayin natin? We will want to wait for the break of 850, for the break of resistance. At the same time, in confluence with EMA 50 or our medium-term trend. So if price can break and sustain above EMA 50, we can deem Eagle in the medium term as an uptrending stock. And as you can see here again, as I've taught in the previous lesson, volume again is now giving clues. We have incremental price movement here with large volume showing us potential signs of accumulation. And eventually, we see a breakout. So now, syempre, buy signal natin dyan 850 to 9. So now, next thing to do is you want to plot the resistance levels. So first, the most significant resistance close, kasi again, momentum traders, you want to go for quick, easy, medium-sized profits, 15, 20, 25%, diba? Of course, you can get more, but those profits are good enough for a quick momentum trader looking to make, again, the most amount of money, the shortest amount of time. So here, 1050, yan yung resistance natin, tapos umabot, diba? So yan, benta, 25%. So yan, solid, diba? Overshoot siya na onte, but again, we're just following our plan of selling at 1050. Right? So solid. So we're able to follow our plan. But now, if we take a look at Eagle again, we see, nagbigay pa siya na isang konso. Diba? Tapos, sakto, yung breakout point, kung saan ka dati nag-TP, yan yung significant na resistance. So, now, we want to see, okay, kaya ba niya ma-break yung 1050 to 11? Which it did eventually. Now, what's the next step after doing this? Next, you want to zoom out and plot the next significant resistance you can see sa chart. And the next one is already at around 14. Diba? So, good risk-reward. So, now, if we look, of course, this was the benefit of hindsight. Umabot siya ng 14 in a very short period, parang 1 week or a week and a half pa lang. So, quick 30% gain yan. Diba? And then, eventually, yun, di natin nabenta sa tuktok, but still, it was a good trade. Diba? So, guys, syempre, mga examples na pinapakita ko are moments na gumana siya. But of course, there are times na hindi naman tayo genius na makakabenta tayo sa tuktok or pagkabili ng breakout, aangat siya kaagad in 5 days. Sometimes, napapatagal, tumatama sa time stop, or napapakat loss ka. There are also instances naman where momentum trading can be a disadvantage. Hindi man disadvantage, but there's its cons. It has its own cons, diba? For example, here we have AceX. AceX, as we can see at 480, diba? It's consolidating at this resistance. Kailangan mabasag yung 5. And the next day, nabasag niya. It went up as high as 40% in 1 day. For a momentum trader, that's a big trade. Diba? In 4 days, it actually went up all the way to 50%. As a momentum trader, 4 days, 50% gain, that's a big thing. That's a big deal. But, kung momentum trader kasi, hindi ka sobrang big picture tumitingin. Diba? You look to sell again into strength. And kung natuwa ka na dito sa AceX sa 50%, yung di mo pala alam na in the next couple of weeks, it went up almost 200% pa. So, you missed out on 130% swing pa. Diba? Even if you take out this entire part, just like double top lang naman, at this point, diba, 183%. So, yan yung con. Yung pro na pagiging momentum trader. Again, most amount of money, shortest period of time, you churn your edge, diba? Or you continue to buy the breakouts and then focus on executing properly. But if you focus too much on yung selling at resistance, selling into strength, there may be times, especially strong markets, where you'll miss out on moves like this. But that's something we need to understand and totally accept kasi nga, each style may pros and cons yan. So now, ito, another fan favorite. Now, let's focus on trend following. So, personally ako, I would define my favorite style would definitely be trend following. So, even ko active trader ka like myself, and si JC rin, si The Bear, mahilig siya mag-trend follow, this is probably the one that can yield the biggest money. But you have to be patient. So, a trend follower makes 80% of his or her money in uptrending markets. Kasi trend follower nga, alangan naman long-only market or we can only sell when prices go up. Tapos mag-trend follow ka, pababa. Diba? So, a trend follower focuses on uptrending stocks. Right? And then, a trend follower is someone who focuses on the big picture plays and looks to take advantage of long-term trends. So, gusto natin, big picture, yan, parang from 5, baka kaya mag-15. From 10, baka kaya mag-20. So, that's what we're focusing on. And the trend follower is someone who believes that the big money is made in the sitting, or the big money is made by holding on to your winning positions for as long as humanly possible, as long as it doesn't give outright sell signals based on your strategy, setup, or system. So number 4, this can be done with someone with a full-time job, so that's good. Diba? So, full-time job, 9 to 5, di kaya mag-ataboy, online class, a parent who's helping his or her child with online class, a business owner. So, yun. The holding period can last between weeks to months, and maybe even a year or years, depending on gaano ba ka-long-term yung trail stop mo. So, now, dito, sa trend following, we're going to be using trail stops. So, I'm sure you guys know what trail stops are. Basically, parang pipili ka ng, pwede siyang price-based, pwede siyang indicator-based, but for sake of, the newbies out there, and ako naman, my personal, what I use for my trail stop is basically EMA 20 for shorter-term trail stop or EMA 50. So, ano gagawin? Basically, if the price closes below EMA 20, ibebenta mo na yung position mo. That's a short-term uptrend. Excuse me. But, if you use EMA 50 naman, which is something I like to use, basically, pag nag-close below EMA 50 or the medium-term, trend na moving average, doon ka magbebenta ng position mo. So, parang aantayin mo lang until the price closes below your chosen trail stop. So, a shorter-term trail stop, yung pro niyan is mabilis ka makalock in ng profits and parang masasave ka kung mabilis na buhusan. But the con here is baka ma-shakeout ka lang. Baka yung pala minor pullback lang, nag-shoot below sa EMA 20 pero EMA 50 holding pa lang naman. So, baka ma-shakeout ka. While sa longer term naman, the pro is yung nga, di ka ma-shakeout, you can take advantage of medium term to longer term trends. But, the con is GG ka pag mabilis na buhusan, di ba? So, imagine, stock going up, nagkamabilis na buhusan. Yung EMA 20, mas madikit dyan sa near the price. So, mabilis ka makaka-out. But kung EMA 50, you'll be giving away a bigger portion of the profit, di ba? So, yun yung parang pros and cons ng dalawa. So, let me give you guys an example. Here's ACE-N. As you already know, one of the strongest stocks in the market right now. ACE-N, if we look at the pattern, diba, it looks like it's forming an inverse head and shoulders. It's actually relatively close to its all-time high. Diba? Because if we zoom out so weekly, we'll see that the all-time high is actually at 3 pesos. So now, looking at it again, let's zoom in now. We can see a pattern forming. Diba? So we can see parang siyang flag or bullish pennant. And of course, it's consolidating on low volume, which is always a good sign. Now, we want to see, okay, kaya ba mag-break above 240? And as you can see, yes, kinaya. And kung momentum trader ka, again, solid to, di ba? 21% gain in a couple of weeks or 2 weeks, di ba? Or maybe a week and a half. So, a very quick move, right? But, if you're a trend follower, hindi ka lang basta-basta magbebenta dahil tumama na sa resistance. You will be using a moving average or any moving average as your trade, or any indicator rather, as your trade. But ako, I like to use moving averages. And in this case, instead of selling at 280, I would much rather sell on a close below EMA 50. So I can potentially take advantage of a big trend na, as you already know, nangyari nga yun. And in the case of ACE-N, diba, until now, still holding, diba, yung EMA 50 natin, diba, nag-test dito pero di ka naman napabenta. Kung EMA 20, mapapabenta ka dyan. But yung nga, EMA 50 medium-term trend, mas mas chill lang. And then, from the breakout point, up ka na 64%. So, tapos, magbebenta ka lang if price closes below EMA 50. So, ito yung rason kung bakit medyo chill yung trend following. Kapag kaya mo, syempre, mag-survive sa mga pullbacks, hindi ka mas-shake out, very clear kasi yung paano ka yung pagbibili, very clear, yung na-buy on the breakout. Diba? Same as momentum. But yung selling is actually really simple in essence, but psychologically, hindi siya ganun kadali. But in essence, you're just gonna sell when price closes below this blue line, diba? Sounds easy, but the execution's hard. Diba? So trend following allows you to take advantage of potential big trends. Because again, nagkataon na natuloy, pero syempre kung di natuloy, mapapabenta ka. Like for example, if dito nauntog siya, tapos bumagsak, say momentum ka. Syempre, panalo ka pag nauntog siya dito tapos bumagsak compared pag trend follower. Kasi kung bumagsak siya, mapapabenta ka lang dito sa 250 pa nag-close below 250. Pero kung momentum, 280, nakapagbenta ka na. But in this case, nanalo yung trend followers kasi nga, naging big trend nga. So again, trend following allows you to take advantage of big potential trends. And again, the money is made in the long-term uptrends. Diba? So, and that's something I believe as well. However, when talking about trend following, you won't be able to sell at the top. Yun eh. Kasi if you're trend following, you're looking to sell into weakness, not into strength. You're not looking to sell all the way up. You're looking to sell when price goes down and then shoots below your moving average. Like for example, in ASN, assume lang natin na ito na yung tuktok. Assume lang natin. Assumption lang. 389, yan na yung tuktok. Diba? Tapos, hindi ka nagbenta kasi nga trend follower ka. Obviously, you will not be able to sell at the top. Dito ka na magbebenta. Let's say, yung EMA 50, yung makabot ng 340, tapos bumagsak, doon ka mapapabenta sa 340, hindi sa tuktok. So, yan yung mangyayari pag trend follower ka. Diba? And there may be instances where you can give up a big chunk of your profit in search for a potential trend. Diba? Kasi, to better explain this point, let me give you an example. So, here's a personal example of mine. This is stock in the US market called Net or Cloudflare Inc. So, it's an IPO, formed the consolidation here, and broke out above 30. I got it on the retest the second day. So, yung trail stop ko dito was EMA 20. Right? So, wala lang. I just wanted to use EMA 20 at the time. I wanted to lock in my profits. Diba? So, sabi ko, okay, if it doesn't close below EMA 20, chill lang ako. Diba? So, solid. After 3 days, it went up 26%. After a couple of weeks, it actually went up 40%. And muntik na ako ma-shake dito, pero di naman umabot. So, up na ako 40%. Diba? But the thing was, after a few days, bumagsak siya, and I actually was only able to sell at a 15% gain. So, ngayon, ito yung disadvantage, hindi man disadvantage, but ito yung parang weak point ng trend following. If hindi siya mag-trend na sobrang ganda, katulad ni Ace N, tapos ulit, tas ito medyo short-term moving average, EMA 20, nagkamabilis sa buhusan. Like in the case here, di ba 3 days lang, na stop na ako. From a 40% gain, 15% na lang, I lost more than 50% of the profits. Because again, trend following, you might give up a big chunk of the profit in search for a bigger trend. Of course, maganda sana pag tumuloy siya. Pag tumuloy siya umakyat, edi solid lang, di ba? But in this case, yung 50% gain lang na lock-in ko. Let me give you another example. SQ. So, si SQ, sabi ko, maganda to, nagkapag-breakout pero di ko nakuha. Let me zoom out to the bigger picture chart, see where else I can try to potentially purchase. And then I saw the all-time high was actually at 100, the century mark. Ika nga, gusto tawagin ng mga US traders, the century mark, $100 per share. Right? So, I waited and I got it at the breakout right here. Nag-accumulate ako dyan. Yan, nagka-follow through. Okay, solid. Sabi ko, alright, I will trail now my position using EMA 20. Diba? So, what happened? At this point, I was up 33%. Diba? But, I closed my position or sold it here. Nung intraday, nag-shoot below So, napabenta ako. So, almost 50% ng profits na wala. Diba? But, the thing was, umakyat pa siya actually. So, kasi yung sinasabi ko, pag EMA 20, there are chances na you might sell your position too early. Especially in an uptrending market like how the US market has been since the market crash. So, but if I show you this to better emphasize the point of, yung sabi ko na you may have to experience giving up big chunks of the profit for a bigger move. If tinrain mo lang yung SQ using EMA 50 actually, since the buy point at 100, hindi ka pa rin masa-stop out hanggang ngayon. Right? But kasi never siya nag-close below EMA 50. So up ka na at this point. At the highest, kung nakabili ka 100, nag-up ka 90%. Pero ngayon, up ka mga 75%. But, on the way to 175, from 100 to 175 or 190, there were instances na malalalim yung mga pullback. So here we have SQ, 80% pullback here, 15% pullback here, 20% pullback here. But again, it never closed below EMA 50. And as a trend follower, again, we won't be able to sell at the top, but we can take advantage of trends like this. But there will be instances where you need to learn how to trust your strategy, trust your system, and be able to accept na there will be times na a big chunk of the profits may be given back away through a pullback. Tapos pag nag-close, wala kang pakabenta ka. But kung malakas talaga yung stock, even if nag-pullback at 20%, di nag-close below sa moving average mo or sa trade stop mo, lalakas yan at aakyat kapag may demand. So yun lang yung realidad sa trend following. So let me give you another example. Before that, pasiplaw ng tubig kasi masayat na lalamunan ko. Let me give you another example. Here's stocks back in 2017. So ano yan, no? Parang if tignan mo, parang madali naman pala to i-trade. Parang buy on breakout dito. Tapos, ano lang, trend follow, hawakan ko lang, ganyan. Kasi, paakyat naman. But, if you were going to trend follow this on the spot, di ba? It's actually harder than it sounds. Kasi, after the breakout here, it went through several deep corrections on the way up. Here we have a 20% correction. Here we have a 21% correction. Here we have a 24% correction. Here we have a 18% correction. But actually, if nilabas ko yung EMA 50, it never closed below it. But again, EMA 20 must stop out ka. But the reality is, as a trend follower, as long as it doesn't close below your chosen moving average, you need to be able to stomach in these type of corrections because it's part of the style. Diba? And in the bigger picture, again, if you bought at the breakout, let's say nabenta mo at the top, dapat 236% gain ka. But again, di naman tayo genius. And again, trend following, the goal is not to sell at the top. The goal is to take advantage of a trend and sell kapag binigyan na tayo ng sell signal. Diba? And at this point, 169% gain yung na-lock in mo pagka-breakdown ni Tugs dito. So, yun. So, now, let's talk about the next one, which is position trading. So now, position trading. So a position trader naman is someone who looks for sideways trends to accumulate his or her position. Diba? So for a position trader, just like a trend follower, patience is a must. Pero kabaliktaran naman. Sa trend following, you need patience kapag nagbebenta. Sa position trading, you need patience pag bumibili. Diba? Number 3, gusto mo nandun ka na habang tahimik pa, habang wala pa masyado namamansin, habang nasa neglect phase or hindi pa siya nag-initial run up. Diba? So 4th, position trading or a position trader, diba? This is a good approach for busy people. Again, like swing trading. Okay to kapag busy ka, pag may full-time job, online class, business, etc. Pag di mo mabantayan yung markets the whole day, or parang every other day lang or something, well, I suggest kahit di mo mabantayan, at least silipin mga lunchtime, diba? 12 kasi shortened market period. But anyway, yeah, good for busy people. And the holding period would be weeks, 2 months, and actually even years, diba? Let me give you an example. So, position trader wants to look for scenarios like this. Diba? Parang si IDC, nagko-consolidate, tahimik lang, mga namamansin lang, mga swing trader, but yung big picture plays, di pa lumalabas. So, nakita mo may consolidation and you want, as a position trader, you want to try and accumulate at key support. Di man at at support levels, but at moments din na maganda yung, parang yung cut loss mo hindi malalim. Parang nagko-consolidate, maganda. So, there's actually 2 key buy points for position traders here. Number 1 is here, at the retest of support, close to support, and this next one is right here. Parang nag-higher conso siya. Diba? Basta it's below, diba? May box tayo. May box. I would say it's a good position trade buy if you buy it below the middle of the range. So below this parang 50% point. So parang if sabihin mo ito 0, ito 50, ito 100, anywhere 50 and below, that's a good area to be a position buyer, diba? Tapos, paano ka magbebenta kung position trader ka? Well, there's actually 2 ways. Diba? The example I'm gonna give now, you can sell at resistance naman eh. Where you can sell at resistance, but there are some position traders who like to hold it, tapos talagang hahawakan ng sobrang tagal. Paakyat, tapos sisikmurahin yung mga malalim na pullback. Pero since sa ilalim nakabili, okay lang. They're willing to risk that kasi part ng strategy. But ako personally, I would say I'm a 70-75% trade follower, 25-30% position trader. I like to sell at resistance, diba? So, yan. So, in the case of IDC, diba, ang ganda na kuha mo dito, sell at resistance, doon nga nauntog, tapos bumagsak. So, here's another example. Teka lang. Sorry. So, here's another example. Dito. Right? So, sa dito naman, diba? And again, this is a common misconception about position trading. Akala ng iba, pwede ka lang bumili kapag downtrend siya, tapos nag-sideways, that's position trading. But in the reality, position trading can also be done in uptrending stocks. So after the initial run-up, like here, we have dito, inverse head and shoulders breakout from the bottom at piso, magat hanggang 233, 131% gain. And then, namigay siya ng konso. Now, this konso can also be taken advantage of by position traders by buying again at the below the 50% range of the consolidation right here. So these are good support buys between 2 to 210, 220. Actually ako, meron ako dito sa DOS dati, nabenta ko mga before 3. Diba? And then what's the next move? The next move is again to plot the resistance points, diba? So that's at around 4. And as you all know, umabot nga siya ng 4. Diba? Well, not necessarily but close, diba? So kung nabenta mo sa tuktok, yan 84% gain, solid pag position trader. Kasi after that, bumagsak na. But again, as we all know, umabot siya ng 8, right? So ano siya? 280% move. So 80 na nakuha natin, pero we missed out on an additional 200% move. But again, masakit. Diba? Siyempre ako, dati meron ako niyan, 2. Benta ako before 3, diba? Hindi ko maalam na abot ng 8. But at the end of the day, even if it's hard to acknowledge, you have to accept na again, we operate at a specific zone of the life cycle of a stock. We operate in specific yun nga. Right? So, dapat di tayo mabad trip. So, at this point, di ba, kung position trader ka, tapos ikaw yung tipong position trader na, putya, ano to, hawaan ko na lang to, malalim average ko eh. So, nakapagbenta ka sa 8. So, parang yun yung two sides ng position trading. Pwede siyang pang accumulate ka, benta sa resistance, or accumulate ka, hawakan mo na matagal. Bahala na kung ano sell signal mo, di ba? Pwedeng may trail stop din, or etc. Here's another quick example. You have EEI, considering this quick shakeout. Again, good area to buy. Anywhere near 490 to 5. And ayan, up ka na 57%. Tapos, yung kagandahan kasi ng position trading, nagiging mababa yung average cost mo. But I'll discuss more on the pros and cons later. Here's another example. We have now. So, now, you have actually, so di ba sabi ko, good buy siya kapag below 50% of the range. Diba? But actually, hindi naman siya bad buy kapag you get it above. Kasi pwede rin, when you say position trading, it's not only trying to buy sa pinakailalim support level, you're also trying to position yourself in anticipation of a bigger move, of a breakout. So, breakout traders kasi, bibili yan 240 pa or 250. Okay lang, confirmation eh. Pero mga position traders, pwede nilang approach kasi is, bibili sila in anticipation of the move para mas mababa yung average entry price o yung cost ng shares nila. Which of course, pwede mag-backfire kapag hindi siya tumuloy. Let's say, bumili ka ng now dito pero nag-breakdown, pero kung breakout trader ka, di ka sana bibili pa. But that's the two sides, right? And as we all know, nag-188% move. Right? So, the main advantage dito sa position trading is mababa nga yung average cost mo. Diba? Hindi ka mas-shake kapag nag-fake out pero support ka man nakabili, okay lang. Kapag nagka-deep pullback like sa dito, kung kaya mo sikmaruhin yun, sikmurahin yun, okay lang. Diba? Pero, ang kalaban mo talaga dito is time. Kasi kung position trader ka, you're positioning yourself for a future move, in anticipation of a future move. And we don't know when that move might happen. Kaya sinasabi ko, position trading, especially if you're the type na kaya mo sikmurahin yung pullback sa tulad kay dito and hope for a bigger move. That's why the holding period can last between months, weeks, months, and even year or years. A year or even years. Diba? So, ang kalaban dito oras, kailangan mo patience. But again, good to kapag busy ka. Right. Alright. Teka, water break ulit. Site na alam muna ko, but let's finish this. Alright. The next one I want to talk about, the last one, is so bounce traders focus primarily on downtrending stocks or stocks breaking down. Right? Because they want to go nga, pagka-breakdown, gusto saluhin yung bounce, yung contra-trend quick bounce. Diba? So, kung bounce trader ka, kailangan mabilis kamay mo. Diba? Kasi, if you're trading a bounce, if you're buying it for a bounce, you need to sell it for a bounce. You can't buy the bounce and look to trend follow. Diba? Pwede, pero malabong mangyari. Typically, this is better if you have time to watch the market kasi nga, quickie move lang to. Again, in line with number 4 and 5, you're looking to make quick profits when you're trading the bounce. The holding period can last between hours and days. Kasi 1 week to 2 weeks, alam ko, for me, matagal na yun kung bounce lang hanap mo. Diba? So, holding period for me is between hours and days. Here's an example. So, paano ba yung mga bounce? So, personally ako, di ako bounce trader kasi I'm not one to buy when a stock is crashing unless sobrang capitulation na. But yung mga ganito, it's really, again, kaya nga important yung self-awareness eh. Ako alam ko hindi ako magaling dito, so hindi ko pinipilit palagi unless sobrang parang ano siya, sobrang by the fear, by the capitulation, intraday, may continuation pattern breakout, basta yun. So here, we have FA or PHA back in the day, I think a year or two ago, nag-breakdown here. So breakdown, diba? So kung nag-swing trading ka, kung sinubukan mo mag-accumulate, wala, napakat ka. So now, as a bounce trader, ano gagawin ko? You have to find areas, and you can do this by using Fibonacci, by using moving averages. But ako personally, when I try to trade the bounce, I just focus on price. I just focus on finding key psychological or key support areas where it could potentially bounce. Diba? Yun na yung style ko, I just use price. So very simple, piso. Diba? So if I were to trade the bounce, and I remember this is something JC and Bear traded before, I would simply wait for it to go to piso. Psychological din. And as you already know, yan, nagka-initial bounce na dito. So kapag bounce trader ka, well, I wouldn't suggest you buy a falling knife. I would suggest na you wait for it to have some bounce on the upside muna. Parang hindi ka bibili kagad sa piso. Pag nakita mo nag-bounce sa piso, nag-102, 103, 104, yan, pwede ka bumuli doon. In this case, nag-bounce, and saan ka magtitipi ngayon? Again, kung bounce, quick profits, fast hands, hours to days yung hawakan, So bebenta ka dapat kaagad sa next immediate resistance, diba? And this case, nasa 120, and umabot nga doon, and after that, nag-fade na. Because again, we're trading stocks that are now in a downtrend, nag-breakdown na eh. And if you're trading a downtrend, it's hard to make super big money unless it's a sure ball reversal. But if you're trading the bounce, again, a 20% gain is a big gain. Usually solid na yung mga 8, 10, 12, 15, 20%, malaki na yun. So yun. Here's another example we have now. So we see a downtrending stock. If you want to try to see where it's gonna bounce, you can plot your Fibonacci, you can use your moving averages, whatever indicator you use. But ako, I like to zoom out and see, okay, saan ba yung dating key support level? And in this case, it's a 2 pesos and at the same time, confluence with that psychological 2 pesos. Again, pag whole number, significant yan. And as you can see here, yan, nag-support nga siya. So hindi siya hindi siya ultimato bounce ka agad, di ba? Parang nagstay pa sandali. So, ang dami mong time for buying opportunities neto. And then, next thing, plot the resistance. And then again, short-term resistance lang. So, dito sa 276. And then, after a week or 2 weeks, ayan, umabot. So, 42% bounce. Sobrang laki na yan. Big bounce na yan. Big move. But here's another example. Or rather, here's the situation. Di ba? Na I want to point out. So, now, there are cases naman na sobrang lakas ang bounce. Di ba? Katulad nito. Yung ali no market crash. Ito yung mga bounce na gusto ko. Yung mga nagpapanik na yung mga tao, nagsusukahan na ng pera. Tapos, which can lead to a huge capitulation move. So, wait lang. So, in this case, si Ali, parang paano mo ito masasalo? Diba? Paano mo makukuha tong big move na to? So, if we're seeing a major breakdown na sobrang grabe yung buhusan, sobrang grabe yung fear, what I like to do is take a look at the weekly or monthly chart and look at if merong data key support levels na multi-year kasi sobrang significant yan. Lalo na pag 5-year support, 8, 10-year support. In this case, 8-year support siya nag-bounce. Una, akala ko dito sa 24 nag-breakdown. So, pinlat ko yung next. Actually, na-trade ko to pero 1 day lang. Parang hindi ko na na-take advantage. So, kasi di ko alam na ito na pala yung potential low ng market crash nung time nung March. So, nag-1 day lang ako, quickie 12% or something. So, yun. Nag-bounce siya dito sa 2012 support ng base niya. Diba? So, that's how you're able to catch yung mga big bounces kapag nag-bounce siya sa key support levels on a multi-year long time frame. Okay. So, dinaanan ko na lahat ng trading styles na yung 5 na minention ko. So, again, swing trading, momentum trading, trend following, position trading, bounce, or bottom fishing. The most important part of each na sinabi ko is not, the buying and the selling. It's more of the psychology behind it, the execution behind it, the profit objective, how you're gonna buy, how you're gonna sell, the pros, the cons, the advantages, the disadvantages. That's what I want you guys to understand deeply. Because that's how you're gonna know which works best for you. Diba? So, maraming tatanong, which trading style is the best? The answer is, it depends on you. Bounce trading is good for those who have time to watch the markets all day. Trend following is good for those who don't. So it really depends on you, how you are as a person, your circumstances, where you are right now in your life. And there's no right or wrong answer. Diba? Here's another common question. Should you focus on one style or master all? Should you be a one-trick pony or a jack of all trades? So there's actually, this argument has been going on not even in the local market, sa US market din. So, ako personally, my belief is, I want to be what JC says as a person or a trader who can be like water, who can adapt to any environment, who can adapt to any situation, who can adapt to any market theme. Diba? Kasi minsan reversals yung gumagana, minsan bounce yung gumagana, minsan momentum gumagana, minsan swing gumagana, minsan trend following gumagana, sumasayaw na ako. So, okay lang naman na one style or one niche, parang gusto mo breakouts ka lang, momentum, trend following, ayaw mo mag-bounce, diba? Ako naman, hindi naman ako master all. Ano lang ako, trend following position. Parang, trend following tsaka position ako. Tsaka kaya ko yung tumira ng major reversals. Hindi bounce, but major reversals. So, I can be like water. Diba? And I believe that's an important thing. For me lang. But if you want to master one style, that's okay. And kailangan bang, let's say, pag momentum, let's say, kaya mo position, kaya mo trend following, hindi mo sila pwede i-combine. Pwede. Let's say, for example, accumulate ka sa base. Tapos, pag nag-breakout, add ka sa position mo. Tapos, bebenta mo lang, pag nag-close below EMA 50, pwedeng ganun. You can actually mix and match everything. Walang parang tuk na magkakahiwalay sila. Pwede mo yan i-combine. Right? And that's something I do. I combine position trading with trend following. Diba? So yung reversals, ano lang yan, depending on the market theme. So that's just my personal take on it. So that's a wrap for this lesson. Hopefully, this was able to provide value to you guys. I would just like to ask a favor if you guys could support us for releasing videos every day sa YouTube channel namin. So if you guys can give us a subscribe there, we would like to provide value in your trading journey and to the trading journey of your friends and your families. So hopefully marami kayong tutunan. Again, this is just actually a prerequisite lesson to the bigger lesson on market cycles which will be taught. I don't know if I can spoil who it is, but yun nga, the next educator. So hopefully nagustuhan nyo to, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson. Kita-kits mga ka-InvestaU. Mahal ko kayo lahat and ingat kayo.
Yon, sobrang daming golden nuggets yung shinare sa atin ni Paano. So, quick recap lang tayo just to make sure na nakuha natin to. So, yung unang tumatak sa akin dito is nung sinabi ni Paano na we should know ourselves first because self-awareness is the key to success in any craft. So, very true naman talaga. Of course, if you know yourself, you know where you can focus, where you should focus, and where you can improve yourself. So, malalaman mo yung mga strengths and weaknesses mo. And then, after that, ang sunod na discuss natin ni Pao are the things na we should consider before choosing our trading style. So, we have diniscuss niyo yung 4 na to. And these are the questions na we should ask ourselves before we choose our trading style. So the first one is, long-term trader ka ba or short-term trader ka? And then the second one is, aggressive trader ka ba or gusto mo yung chill lang? And then the third one, gusto mo ba yung mga micro moves or gusto mo yung big picture plays? And then the last one na I can consider a very important question that we should ask ourselves before we choose our trading styles is, kaya ba nating mag-monitor ng market? Or are we those na we have a job from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or kaya may business ba tayo? Or meron ba tayong mga anak na tinuturuan ngayon na sa school? So these are the 4 things that we should consider before we choose our trading styles. And then after that, tinakal na ni Pao yung 5 main trading styles, which is the swing trader, and then trend follower, momentum traders, position traders, and then bounce traders. So dyan papasok ang ating pop quiz for tonight. So ready na ba kayo? So simple lang naman, I will maglalagay lang ako dito ng mga characteristic ng ano ba yung type of trader na yun, and sasagutin niyo lang if it's a swing trader, a trend follower, a momentum trader, a position trader, or a bounce trader. So ready na ba kayo? So comment niyo lang yung answer niyo in the comment section. You have 5 seconds to answer each questions. Number 1, which trader is this? These are traders who primarily focuses on uptrending stocks. So you have 5 seconds to answer this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alright, time's up. So the answer for this is, these are our momentum traders. Okay, let's go on to our second one. Which trader is this? These are traders who looks for sideways trend to accumulate positions. You have 5 seconds to answer this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alright, time's up. So the answer to this is position traders. So sila yung mga traders na sobrang haba ng pasensya. Yung tipong tulog pa lang yung stock, nag-accumulate na sila ng mga shares nila. Okay, so our third one, which trader is this? These are traders who can make money both sideways and uptrends. They buy at support levels and they sell at resistance. You have 5 seconds to answer this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alright, time's up. And the answer to this is, they are our swing traders. Okay, so our fourth one, which trader is this? These are the traders who focuses primarily on downtrending or stocks breaking down. You have 5 seconds to answer this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alright, time's up, and the answer to this is, these are our bounce traders. And to our last one, which trader is this? These are traders who focuses on big picture plays and looks to take advantage of long-term trends. So, sino to? You have 5 seconds to answer this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alright, time's up. So the answer to this is, yes, these are our trend followers. So trend followers make 80% of their money through an uptrending market. And they are those na naniniwala na money is made on the sitting. That's it mga ka-Investa You. We really hope na nag-enjoy kayo at marami kayong natutunan sa ating first day back sa ating second semester. And we really want to know kung anong klaseng trader ka, so comment it down below at babasahin namin yan. And if you are new and you want to catch up, just go to Investa Learn at naka-line up na doon lahat ng mga lessons namin. So sunod-sunod na yun guys, para hindi kayo malito. That's it, so have a great evening. Kita-kits sa next lesson. Bye!